Welcome to the course on the role of international standards in implementing the Universal Power Adapter and Charger solution for information and communication technology devices. Currently, there is a wide range of power adapters and chargers in the market for the same kind of information and communication technology devices. There is, therefore, definite need for a universal solution, such as the Universal Power Adapter, or in short, UPA. This brings us to the question, what is a Universal Power Adapter, or a UPA? In short, the Universal Power Adapter, or a UPA, is an external power adapter that interfaces to the low voltage input of an ICT device by converting the AC mains voltage to a low DC voltage output. The Universal Power Adapter solution, therefore, is a family of UPAs that defines the power supply solution for different ICT devices. The UPA solution is meant to reduce the number of power adapters and chargers produced and recycled by widening their application to more devices and increasing their lifetime. It is also meant to reduce energy consumption. The longer life cycle and possibility of avoiding device duplication will reduce the demand of raw materials and waste. What are some of the objectives and benefits of implementing the UPA? It was reported that in 2017, only 66% of world population had a mobile phone. This means that there is a large margin for growth in the number of devices in the coming years, and therefore in the number of chargers. The widespread adoption of an energy-efficient universal power adapter solution for ICT devices will, therefore, result in more than a 50% reduction in standby energy consumption that together with even greater energy savings due to more efficient AC and DC converters will contribute to the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions. The Universal Power Adapter solution will achieve several other objectives as well. First, it will be more convenient for consumers to power their ICT devices from any available universal power adapter. Second, it will enable the sharing of power adapters between ICT devices. And third, UPAs can be used for existing and future ICT devices as well. This will reduce the number of duplicate single-use power adapters considerably. What are some of the key considerations for implementing the UPA? The environmental impact of any UPA solution should be considered over its entire life cycle. The transition towards a universal power adapter solution should not aim to replace existing adapters immediately, as billions of them are currently in use and billions more are already being introduced for new devices. Life expectancy, safety, electromagnetic compatibility, and environmental issues must also be considered. Furthermore, it is important to propose a low-voltage DC interface to directly power ICT devices, especially for emerging countries that show faster mobile and internet development, despite their absence of a reliable AC grid. The use of DC is much more efficient and increases the overall reliability as it allows removing the DC to AC inverters and insulated AC to DC adapters. A simple and low-cost detachable cable could then be sufficient to power ICT devices. In some cases, only a DC to DC converter with very high efficiency would be used to adapt voltage, such as 12 or 24 volts to 5 volts. Multi-output UPA solutions could be built based on a single DC output interface that will improve user experience by reducing the amount of power adapter blocks, wires, and AC plugs. This additionally reduces the environmental impact by using less material and offering the higher efficiency of an adapter rated for higher power. The ICT devices can be sold just with the detachable cable or with the end connector adapter. The International Telecommunication Union, or ITU, as the specialized agency at the UN for all information and communication technologies, is leading the charge for the development and adoption of UPAs. A large part of ITU's effort is the development of standards, while its telecommunication standardization sector, known as ITUT, that will guide the development and global dissemination of a universal solution to the plethora of ICT adapters and chargers. Within ITUT, Study Group 5 is the lead expert group on developing these global standards and guidelines. Showcasing these efforts are events such as the annual Green Standards Week and the Symposium for ICT, Environment, Climate Change, and Circular Economy, which act as a global platform where policymakers, field experts, city planners, regulators, standards experts, civil societies, and others can come together to discuss the role of ICTs and frontier technologies in facilitating environmental sustainability and climate action. Additionally, the Green Digital Action, or GDA initiative, led by ITU, is a multi-stakeholder collaboration to step up climate action across global digital community. Several other events, similarly hosted by ITU, serve to raise awareness on the intersection of technology and climate change and the environment, including around issues such as universality of e-solutions, e-recycling, e-waste, and the circular economy. ITUT Study Group 5 has developed a variety of recommendations related to the issues around e-waste, ICTs, and the circular economy, and it is in the processing of developing more that can be seen on this slide and the next two. In this presentation, we'll be focusing on the 6 recommendations that fall under the ITUT L1000 series that is circled in red. The ITUT L1000 series recommendations are designed to ensure that a universal power adapter solution operates within the recognized current and voltage safety parameters. By adopting existing ICT device technologies and by considering operators, manufacturers, and associations working within the market. All the recommendations have been set within the aim of reducing e-waste and increasing usability.
ITUT
This
Study
is
Group
a
5 has
continuation
developed a
of the
variety of
Study Group
recommendations
5
related to
recommendations
the
on
issues
tackling
around
e-waste
e-waste,
and
ICTs, and the
achieving a
circular
circular
economy,
economy.
and is in the
Some of
process of
these
developing more.
recommendations will be covered in
These
other
can be seen
courses
on this slide
within
and the
this
text.
series.
In this presentation, we will be focusing on the 6 recommendations that fall under the ITUT L1000 series that is circled in red on the chart. The L1000 series recommendations are designed to ensure that the universal power adapter solution operates within the recognized current and voltage safety parameters by adopting existing ICT device technologies and by considering operators, manufacturers, and associations working within the market. All the recommendations have been set with the aim of reducing e-waste and increasing usability.
Same as here.
ITUT Study Group 5 has developed a variety of recommendations related to the issues around e-waste, ICTs, and the circular economy, and is in the process of developing more. These can be seen on this slide and the text. In this presentation, we will be focusing on the 6 recommendations that fall under the ITUT L1000 series that is circled in red on the chart. The L1000 series recommendations are designed to ensure that the universal power adapter solution operates within the recognized current and voltage safety parameters by adopting existing ICT device technologies and by considering operators, manufacturers, and associations working within the market. All the recommendations have been set with the aim of reducing e-waste and increasing usability.
We will proceed by introducing each of the recommendations in the ITUT L1000 series. Starting with recommendation ITUT L1000. Recommendation ITUT L1000 provides high-level requirements for a universal power adapter and charger solution that will reduce the overall number of power adapters and chargers produced and recycled by widening their application to more devices and increasing their lifetime. This recommendation also takes into consideration energy efficiency, emissions reduction, and the use of scarce and raw materials. In that, it aims to reduce energy consumption, while the longer life cycle and possibilities of avoiding device duplication reduces the demand on raw materials and waste. The universal power adapter and charger solution is designed to serve the vast majority of mobile terminals and other ICT devices. Next in the series is recommendation ITUT L1001. Recommendation ITUT L1001 provides requirements for a universal power adapter solution for stationary information and communication technology devices that will reduce the number of power adapters that are produced by widening their application by more devices, thus enabling their reuse and increasing their life expectancy. The solution also aims to reduce energy consumption. Again, the longer the life cycle and possibility of avoiding device duplication, the lower the demand on raw materials and the limited the amount of e-waste generated. The universal power adapter solution for stationary ICT equipment is also designed to serve the vast majority of ICT devices. Then we have Recommendation ITUT L1002. Recommendation ITUT L1002 defines the requirements and provides guidelines on the environmental aspects of UPA solutions designed for use with portable information and communication technology devices. It is complementary to Recommendation ITUT L1000 and ITUT L1001 and aims to cover the widest possible range of ICT devices for portable use within identified voltage and power ranges. It first describes basic configurations for UPAs, consisting of a power adapter block with a detachable input cable and a detachable output cable to the ICT device. Then it defines different general recommendations for UPAs and their interfaces, including cables, connectors, voltage, current, ripple noise, energy efficiency, and no load power considerations. This is followed by Recommendation ITUT L1005, which considers the creation of specific test suites to assess certain functional aspects of the energy efficiency, interworking, safety and electromagnetic compatibility of the universal charger solution, or in short, UCS. Such testing is required to guarantee a minimum quality level of the UCS in conformance with the target basic configuration of the UCS and charger described in Recommendation ITUT L1000. Next is Recommendation ITUT L1006, which describes the general test suites applicable to the UPA solution designed for ICT devices for stationary or non-portable use. Such testing is required to guarantee a minimum quality level of the UCS in conformance with the target basic configuration of UPA described in Recommendation ITUT L1001. With regard to electromagnetic compatibility, or in short, EMC, and safety aspects, additional requirements to those listed in Recommendation ITUT L1001 are necessary for a product to be available for use by the general public. Last but not least is Recommendation ITUT L1007, which considers the creation of specific test suites to assess certain functional aspects of the energy efficiency, interworking, safety, and EMC of the UPA solution designed for ICT devices for portable use. Again, such testing is required to guarantee a minimum quality level of the UPA in conformance with target basic configuration described in Recommendation ITUT L1002. This slide focuses on the first recommendation, ITUT L1000. The first figure shows the basic target configuration of the universal charger solution, that is UCS, for mobile terminals, which consists of, first, a power adapter or charger of the mobile terminal, other ICT device for charging, which can also be used for data transfer, or renewable energy power supply, such as solar, wind, etc. It also consists of a highly recommended solution of detachable cable used for charging or data transfer, which enables the friendly use on different powering output ports, reuse, or a non-recommended alternative solution of captive cable used for charging only, depending on market demand. And third, a mobile terminal. The use of a three-element configuration can expand the application of a universal charger. Firstly, it unifies the power adapter and charger output port into one type USB standard A or USB Type-C, which enables different types of mobile terminals to share unified types of power adapter and charger. The USB standard A and USB Type-C or micro B can be used for both powering and data transfer purposes. This means the mobile terminal can be supplied with a single cable to both charge the mobile terminal and transfer data. Examples can be data transfer for software updates or images and videos with terminals having this capability. This reduces e-waste and improves user experience. Secondly, the application of the power adapter and charger can be expanded to other handheld ICT devices. For instance, it can act as a power supply for portable or household small electric equipment. It can also contribute to the reduction of e-waste, environmental protection, resource conservation, and overall cost reduction. The figure on the right shows the basic target configuration of the UCS using a detachable cable, which incorporates the following. First, it consists of the highly recommended option of a detachable cable, as mentioned, with a USB standard A connector on the charger side to a USB micro B or a USB Type-C plug connector, or a detachable cable with USB Type-C connectors at both ends. Second, it consists of a non-recommended option depending on market demand of captive cable terminating in a USB connector, micro B type or Type C. Lastly, it consists of a plug adapter may be used as option for connecting from a USB Type C receptacle plug to any specific connector. Examples of specific connectors are listed in the second figure on the right. A plug adapter can also be the cable itself. In that case, the USB-C voltage and current management protocol may not be used. A rated charging current in the range 750 mA, preferably 1000 mA to 3000 mA. No loud power consumption of the power adapter below 0.03 volt. It should be noted that these requirements are designed to maximize the reuse of the most impactful aspect of charging solution, namely the external power supply, and enable a market where it is no longer necessary to sell a new power supply with every new ICT device. Furthermore, the maximum environmental benefits will only be achieved by making a transition towards a single universal charging solution, which is flexible and easy to use for the widest possible range of mobile phones and other handheld ICT devices. The compatibility, voltage, safety, and other aspects of the different possible combination of adapters, detachable cables, and the mobile terminals to be charged should be considered. A transitional solution for compatibility with existing devices needs to also be considered. This is because trying to address the large range of requirements in the near term with one universal charger solution is not immediately achievable. Therefore, This recommendation also defines the specific requirements for the transition to the target solution where appropriate to specific market or customer needs. Beyond the mobile terminals and handheld devices covered in ITU-T L1000, there are also ICT devices for stationary use and other portable ICT devices covered in ITU-T L1001 and 1002. We will start introducing ICT devices for stationary use in this context. UPAs can be used to power ICT devices for stationary use. Applicable ICT devices include VDSL modems, ADSL modems, home gateways, routers, GPON or ONUS, fixed telephones, facsimiles, etc. In cases where ICT devices include internal batteries, the UPA does not provide charging functions. A UPA could also power other ICT devices that have similar power requirements such as external hard disks, computer monitors, point-of-sale card readers, etc. if their power input interface is compatible with the specifications in recommendation ITU-T L1001. In case of a multi-output UPA option, the sum of the maximum power of all outputs must not exceed 249 watts. Next, we will cover ICT devices for portable use. A UPA is applicable to portable ICT devices at home or office where normal operation, including device internal battery recharge, requires a connection to a household distribution where it may happen that the Earth's connection is of poor quality. The UPS considered in this recommendation ITU-T L1002 will be able to power portable ICT devices that are able to operate while being disconnected from the grid using power from their internal battery and when connected to the wide range of power grids with different voltage and quality. Furthermore, UPAs have enough power to allow device use while recharging the internal device battery. For user comfort and to reduce the number of UPAs and consequent e-waste, these devices include portable computers and their portable peripherals, hubs, projectors, printers, scanners, loudspeakers, screens, additional battery packs, etc. According to recommendation ITU-T L1001, this figure shows the basic configuration of the Universal Power Adapter or UPA solution for stationary ICT use. The basic UPA configuration consists of a UPA with a captive non-detachable input cable and a captive output cable to the ICT device, while the captive input can be a plug integrated within the adapter housing. Another option is a UPA with more than one output defined in a basic configuration. Each UPA configuration is shown within a connector adapter between the cable connector and the input of the device. This figure from ITU-T recommendation L1002 describes the basic configuration of UPA solutions used for portable devices. The basic UPA configuration consists of a UPA with a detachable input cable, where the captive input can be a mains plug integrated in the adapter housing and a detachable output cable to the ICT device. A detachable DC cable is required for UPAs, as the DC cable is generally the weakest point of the portable UPA and the main point of failure. Adapters which have captive cables, in case of failure of the latter, require all of the rest of the equipment, and in particular its active part, to be discarded, adding up unnecessary e-waste and costs for users. Furthermore, the detachable cable enables more reuse and increased lifetime, which is the main aim of recommendation ITUT L1002. For higher power categories, which is above 60 volts, adapters designed and tested with end products may optionally use captive cables if needed to support system-level robustness and technical performance requirements. Nevertheless, detachable cables are strongly recommended for these categories. For UPA power classes, such as those used for portable computer, new multi-output solutions are spreading into the market. Such solutions may offer a USB Type-A connector in addition to the main UPA output power interface, which may also be a USB Type-C connector. This improves user comfort, as a vast majority of users have multiple portable devices. This feature reduces the need for users to have multiple different power adapters, which directly saves materials and indirectly is more user-friendly as it avoids the need for an additional AC socket or AC strip installation. In addition, this can save energy, as the power efficiency of a higher power UPA is often higher than the efficiency of a smaller one, and the no-load power within a single UPA is reduced. This slide compares the basic power compatibility function of the recommended solutions shown in recommendations ITUT L1001 and L1002 for stationary versus portable ICT devices. On the ICT devices for stationary use side, Figure A shows that a UPA is available for different equipment for stationary use. You see the basic compatibility function for one UPA shown with several devices with similar power characteristics. Figure B, on the other hand, shows that a UPA is available for equipment whose rated power is less than the capacity of the UPA. You see the basic power compatibility function of a UPA example based on a 12 volts UPA. In a sense, the compatibility function should be compliant with the efficiency targets. That is to say, UPA power should be comparable to the ICT requirement. In addition, an appropriate overcurrent protection device should be included in the DC input circuit of the powered ICT equipment. An overcurrent condition of the UPA should be at least 105% of the rated current. The variability of characteristics due to the tolerance of the UPA components should also be taken into account, such as temperature drift and reliability of the overcurrent protection device, such as fuse. ICT devices should also be designed to ensure coordination between UPA power output capabilities and fuse characteristics. Proper design will help to detect when there is a failure and prevent damage to ICT equipment. On the portable ICT side, We can again see the UPAs can power different ICT devices. UPAs that are designed with fixed output voltage are available for ICT devices whose rated power is less than the capacity of UPA. In the figure on your right, you can see the basic power compatibility function of UPAs with fixed output voltage, using an example based on 20 volts UPAs. In order to optimize efficiency, it is recommended that UPAs that have fixed output voltages and power ratings be matched with the same power-rated ICT devices. In purple, combinations of UPAs with ICT devices, for example, use of 60 volts ICT with 40 volts UPA, can result in incompatibility or reduced performance, increasing the risk of damage on ICT devices. While a UPA may sense its own short circuit or failure condition, it cannot sense a malfunction of the ICT device except for the ones leading to an overcurrent condition. Therefore, it is recommended that overcurrent be set to at least 130% of the rated current. The last slide covers the remaining recommendations in ITUT L1000 series. These recommendations focus on the use of a test suite, which is a list of tests necessary to validate a universal charger solution, or a UCS. Recommendation ITUT L1005 defines the test to determine whether a UCS meets the necessary conformance requirements. The need to establish a common test suite for the UCS is derived from the necessity to establish a common modality to assess product quality and to provide a regulatory guide on which product testing could be based for market surveillance purposes. The recommendation defines the test to determine whether a UCS is in conformance with the elements you see on the slide. The first is energy efficiency. This testing determines the power consumption of devices in relevant low power modes, generally where the device is not in active mode, that is not performing a primary function. It includes a low load power consumption test and energy efficiency conversion. The next is DC output characteristic. This testing determines the level or type of voltage, current, output connector, common mode noise, and ripple. This is followed by safety, which exists to reduce risks of fire, electric shock, or injury for any who may come into contact with the device. This standard also specifies requirements intended to reduce risks from acoustic outputs at communication receivers and similar devices used for voice telecommunication. Next is EMC, which is electromagnetic compatibility. This testing exists to ensure that a device does not emit a large amount of electromagnetic interference, known as radiated and conducted emissions, and that it continues to function as intended in the presence of several electromagnetic phenomena, such as voltage dips, interruptions, and surges. The last one is resistibility. This testing seeks to determine the resistibility of ICT equipment to overvoltages and overcurrents. Overvoltages or overcurrents include surges due to lightning on or near the line plant, short-term induction of alternating voltages from adjacent electric power lines or electrified railway systems, Earth's potential rise due to power faults and direct contacts between telecommunication lines and power lines. These tests are further specified in Recommendation ITU-T L1006 for stationary ICT devices and in ITU-T L1007 for portable ICTs. Thank you for your participation in this course. We hope that you found it informative and will join us in the remaining courses that are part of this series.